Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, September 11th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I will do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right here will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol QH, and absolute beast mode today. And as I speak, this thing is continuing to push to even higher highs. So on that note, that's really the main reason from a trading standpoint. At the core, there's basically two things we care about: volume and volatility. Does the price move? And yes, this thing definitely has a whole lot of volume today, as you can see down here. And then, yeah, the price movement speaks for itself. So those things in and of itself are worthwhile to throw something onto a watch list. Now, as far as levels of support are concerned, that's really the main area to focus on here, which is a good problem because this thing is essentially in blue sky breakout territory. So from that angle, it's already broken out, and you just essentially have to wait for another pattern to form. But in terms of, for those of you that like to play pullbacks, interesting level here from a pullback standpoint, right here at the dollar mark, you can see that was, generally speaking, an area of resistance both there, and then just foundational rules and charting. When levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. That's not to say that the price is going down to the dollar mark, just that if it does, that could be a possible area of support. But wow, as I speak, this thing continues to push in new highs. So from the resistance side of things, so like I said, blue sky breakout territory, and you essentially just got to wait to see if a pattern sorry about that. My voice just went out on me out of nowhere. But anyways, you got to just wait until a pattern forms. So if the price does pull back here, that's not a bad thing at all, because from a pattern standpoint, yeah, you'd have a pullback right here, but you'd also have this big surge right here, which would just give you a bull flag pattern. So if you do like to play breakouts, and then of course you could try to buy the breakout of the pattern. So if you like to play breakout, stuff like that, breakout has already occurred right now. But as just shown, if a bullish pattern does form, then you'll just have to have a little bit more patience to wait for a new potential breakout area. But all in all, very, very impressive move. Next one here, BKYI, and very rough looking chart here to think at one point the price was all the way up here, and now it's come all the way down there. So hopefully anybody that was buying right there had a stop loss in. If not, they're having a pretty rough day. But yeah, this thing is relatively ugly, but for you longer time viewers, you know what I'm going to say next. There can be opportunity ugly, and we need it to get, I would say, just a little bit more ugly in my opinion, because if it can get a little more ugly, come down to here, then you have both these moving averages, purple line being the 50-period moving average, pink line being the 200-period moving average, some very well-known areas of support. That does not mean that the price will for sure act as support, but it's not unreasonable at all to think that the price, if it pulls down there, could find some support and bounce. So if you like to play these situations where things are looking pretty ugly, but the price is approaching logical areas of support, and you like this price range, definitely keep an eye on it. Next one here, AILE, very, very nice pattern, and this one has not broken out, unlike the first one. So let's get this pattern drawn into play. We have our area of resistance. Granted, it is knocking on the door. So there's our resistance. Right there is our area of support. And let me change that to green to represent support. And then just to make the pattern easier to see, let me keep it all one color. So we have our resistance. We have our support. We have the explosive move right here. For you golfers, try to make it a little bit more visual. Put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. So nothing is guaranteed, but if the price can come up here and push up through it, could that break in and of itself create additional buying pressure? Absolutely. So if you like this price range, you like bull pennants, certainly keep an eye on it. Next one here, NIO finally decided to act human here a little bit with a bit of a pullback here, but on the pullback, everything acted beautifully. And this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the video from Monday, but if you did, I talked about $5.30 as that ideal level. Meaning if you say, hey Clay, what makes this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? And I said, that would be if the price can stay above that level. And you can see earlier in the day, price came down here and did a beautiful job of staying up above it. So fantastic job of maintaining that gain right there. And then you also have the purple line right there, 50-period moving average with an upward slope to it. So you have a lot of areas of support down below you, but certainly a nice bounce from here. And then you can see just the rest of the day just one green candle after another. So pretty crazy afternoon when you stop and think about it, how it just slowly has crept its way back upwards and is now getting well within striking distance once again of the overarching area of resistance, which you can see has been a problem right here. Current value of that right up there around $5.62. So all things considered, sure, it did pull back today, but bigger picture wise, still a very, very healthy looking chart. Next one, NVDA, and once again, this will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the past video, but if you did, hopefully remember me talking about 104.75 as support, and I bring that up because you can see that right here, price came down here on this pretty rough pullback. Didn't hit it exactly, but got pretty close, so for anybody that picked up some shares or options right there, you got yourself an absolutely beautiful bounce. So very, very nice example there of the power of technical charts, and also just to continue to, kind of reiterate that 104.75 remains that key battleground from a support standpoint that you want to see the price maintain above. In terms of levels of resistance, main battleground to watch moving forward, going to be right there at that level, which sits at the 108. Yeah, we'll just call it 108. Try to keep it simple. You can see back here, price rejected it. Then several other instances of the price getting near it, including this final 30 minutes here, and hasn't been able to quite push above it. But yeah, all eyes on 108 for Wednesday. Can the price break above it? We'll see what happens. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering here in a couple of days. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use, or if you're watching at my website, there's an area right there on the webpage you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, PLTR. If you watched the video from Monday, you know that I called for a pullback here due to this rising wedge pattern. And yeah, indeed, actually before the pullback, the price came up here. Look at that. Just the power of charts. And I'm not patting myself on the back, but I am patting charts on the back. They really do work, and they're a worthwhile tool to use. So I'll turn that into a quick plug. Go get signed up for that free class. But top part of the pattern there got rejected, and then there was indeed a pullback. But also, like I talked about yesterday, pullback doesn't mean crash or anything like that. It just means, well, the price needs to pull back. And you can see after the pullback, the price isn't back up to those highs yet, but overall has done a good job of leveling out and is now starting to recover. So on that note, we now have more of a better idea of where the support is, and that's just going to be down here right around this 33.75 mark. If you go back here, you can see acted as support and then a few times today. So keep an eye on 33.75. But again, big picture wise, just watch that purple line there, 50 period moving average. And as the name implies, that line is going to move itself higher and higher as time goes on. So from the overarching standpoint, as long as the price stays above that line, then the overall trend is still perfectly fine. In terms of areas of resistance, nothing needs to be complicated here. Just simply the question, where did the party stop today? And the party stopped right up there at $35.20. So for that reason alone is where I'd consider that an area of resistance. But all things considered, good solid day. Next one, TSLA Tesla. And all things considered, it's headed in the right direction when you consider that low was, and then these lows right here, and then that low right there. And if you envision those as stair steps, these stair steps are progressing in the upwards direction. And again, assuming you're a bigger picture person, that's what it's all about. Maybe it's not always the most exciting thing, but it is a healthy thing. And that's what this has been doing. So continue to watch that dynamic. As long as the price builds those higher lows, that is what matters most. And then as far as areas of resistance, I think a very, very straightforward level to watch now moving forward. Right here at 225, we'll call it 60. If you go back here, you can see this was a former area of support, and then a classic example of that support now beginning to act as resistance right there. And then even right now, though, as I speak, price is knocking on the door. So while that doesn't guarantee anything, it does make it more than plausible to think that Tesla very well could be looking at a breakout tomorrow, which just brings about the question, if it does break that level, how much momentum will it gain? Is it going to just go on another, famous Tesla move where it's just skyrockets up? We'll see what happens, because you don't want to get too far out of yourself, one step at a time. But yeah, that step of breaking that key area of resistance seems quite plausible given where the price current location is. Next one here, AMD, and this one's looking very, very solid. Although, just from the eyeball, it does, I guess, is it at that level of resistance? Let's see. Pretty close, did not hit it exactly, but this 143.30 mark, you can see right there, rejected the price. Right there, rejected the price. And then right here, last 30 minutes, like I said, didn't hit it exactly, but I think we can all agree got very, very close. So more of the story there headed into Wednesday, 143.30 will be public enemy number one, and that'll be where the big question mark resides. Can this upwards move right now maintain enough strength and momentum to push up through that level right there? If not, and if it rolls back over, then I would say the must-hold level of support down here, that purple line at 137.50. As you can see right now, so far so good. It's doing a good job. And I just call that a very, very important level, because if the price were to come down there and break down below it, at that point, all of a sudden you have the price starting to go right back to where it was. And assuming you're bullish, you don't want to see price movements make great movements and then go back to where they were, because that's not exactly a sign of genuine power. I'm not saying that's what's going to occur, just trying to explain why 137.50 I would consider a very, very important level of support going into Wednesday. But all in all, great movement. Can the price break above 143.30? We'll see what happens. Next one, PLUG, and I'll state the obvious on this one, but very, very impressive late morning and then the remainder of the afternoon. Started off weak, and then from there, just essentially straight up the remainder of the day. So yeah, if you like to play breakouts, you did miss playing the breakout of that area right there, but that's also going to be our near-term area of support now, just based on that rule, and levels of resistance are broken and closed above. You want to see them act as support. So $1.77, if there is any sort of pullback, will be that key level. And same reason of what I just talked about. If the price were to fall back below here, what is that doing? That's all of a sudden putting the price right back inside of this range where it already was. So if this breakout is truly strong, it's at least going to show signs of progress. So if it comes down here and behaves like that and then curls back upwards, you would have progress, right? Because you'd have a set of lows here, you'd have lows down here, and if you envision those as those stair steps, you got stair steps making progress in the upwards and bullish direction. In terms of levels of resistance, basically a blue sky breakout right now until up there at that pink line, which is the 200 period moving average, currently valued at 195. I'm not saying that level can't be broken. I'm just saying that just given the nature of charts, the price better really bring it to A game if it is going to be able to push above that level and stay above it. But anyway, look at it. Very, very impressive afternoon today. Next one, TQQQ, and good solid day on this one as it's really beginning to work its way upwards. So I'm just going to get rid of these levels now as they serve their purpose. And first key update, just based on that rule again, when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So one of the newest areas of support right over here at $59.40. But now as I say that, you know what, let's do this instead. You can totally leave that as support, but just from more of a kind of an overall presentation standpoint, very curious about this trend line now. Can the price continue to maintain above that trend line? And I think that makes things a lot more simple, because if the price were to come up here and then come all the way down here and then go all the way up here and then come all the way down here, overall that's still showing you that the price is making progress, because, well, in this situation the price would still be putting in those higher lows, or like I pointed out, those higher stair steps. So if you don't want to really focus on stair steps, that's where trend lines can come into play. As long as the price stays above that uptrending trend line, well then by definition the price is building those higher stair steps. In regards to levels of resistance moving forward, next key battleground to watch right up there around $61.30, so keep an eye on that. But yeah, price is doing a great job putting in higher highs, higher lows, so let's see if it can maintain above that trend line. For you Bitcoin traders, I'll get to that in just a second, but for you stock traders, again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about the tool and how it can and should be used, then again, go get signed up for that free webinar. It'll be Thursday, September 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It is a genuine live event, and I reiterate that because there will be a Q&A session. So if you have questions, please bring them. I'd be happy to answer them live for you. All right, now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification, I am now on the 4-hour time frame, so each one of these candlesticks represents 4 hours and not 30 minutes, and that's because Bitcoin is open 24/7, and in order for this video and analysis to remain relevant for as long as possible, by using the 4-hour time frame, it allows me to do that. And if you watched the video about 24 hours ago, that was during this candle right here, big old green candle. So once again, good timing, because as I speak, we have another big old green candle. So I want to walk through some questions, and based on how you answer those questions, we'll keep this video relevant. So let's just assume you're watching this video 20 hours after I upload it. Question number one becomes, where is the price at relative to that level down there at 55,700? As long as you're answering the question that the price is above that level, then as far as I'm concerned, everything is fine. Now, sure, it'd be much better if the price was up here, but even if the price was down around here somewhere, that would still be implying, and we're going back to kind of a theme here, that you'd have a low there, you'd have a low there, you'd have a low there, and you would still have stair-steps progressing in the upwards direction, which would still be healthy. Not maybe the most exciting thing, but would still be healthy. So again, any answering of the question, the price is above that level, that is a good thing. If you're answering the price or the question that the price is down below here and more than likely up above here, at that point, I'm not going to call it a train wreck, but it does start to lose quite a bit of its bullishness and things become a whole lot more iffy at that point in time. It's looking right now, things are so strong, but regardless, that is one scenario. And then, of course, you're saying, well, yes, Clay, the price is above that level. Well, then where's the price at relative to this area up here? If any way you're answering the price is up above that level there at 59,200, that is telling you that this current session right here was just the start of a much bigger bullish move, and things are looking very, very impressive because as you're about to see here, the price has not been above that pink line for quite a while, and you can see it's actually struggled with that pink line. So if somehow you're answering the question, is price above that pink line, that would be a very good thing. But as of right now, looking pretty good here for Bitcoin. And as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to get signed up for this free live class because what you're learning about can and certainly should be used within the world of Bitcoin and crypto trading also. So again, it'll be a couple days, Thursday, September 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope to see you there. So thanks for watching. Go get signed up for that free class. Take care.